If you can, I need y'all to stand up for me. Everybody stand up. Come on, y'all, get them bones moving. All right. Everybody walk around your table and go back to your seat. Wait a minute, which direction y'all going? All right. How many rounds y'all have been? Okay, you can have a seat. I just want everybody to wake up for me. All right, in this presentation, when it comes to mental health, as she read earlier, that's been my baby when it comes to making sure we are educated on mental health awareness. Working in law enforcement, I saw the need. Part of my job for 26 years, 25, 26 years, I was a PO. So imagine how many people came in my office that actually was in a mental health crisis, needed mental health treatment, had never received mental health. So I started to educate myself. What can I do to help the people that I'm responsible for? So it actually led to me actually starting my own business. How I ended up getting in it, the judge I worked under, retired now Judge Tommy Green, requested me to come and run a pilot mental health court. My position was, I don't know anything about no crazy people. What's she trying to say about me? I didn't know it was going to end up where I'm standing now, going all over the country, speaking to persons about mental health awareness, as a mental health advocate. So one of the questions a friend of mine asked me when I first did the bail agents, she was like, what are you doing? Why would you go talk to some bail agents about mental health? And I've always been the one, you ask me, I'm going to tell you. You all catch people at their most vulnerable condition that you probably can catch an individual in. Jail, life, and maybe some of the crimes could be death. So when the persons come in and you're dealing with them, you know, you don't know what you have in front of you. What this person is facing. They could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time. We was talking about that this morning. And then again, it could have been their pattern, what they do. So when it comes to mental health, it's important that you all know what resources are out there available for you as an agent. This is my information. I don't know what all that stuff the lady was reading earlier, but I'm just Christiane. I'm just a human being. I honestly don't like people to read bios, because a lot of time when they read the bios, people are like, oh God, look what all she did. No, it is not that. So this is my information. I move around and I'm gonna talk and you all talk back to me. If there's a question you need to ask, please ask it. We're gonna I'm gonna move through a little faster than I would to try to make sure we get everybody back on schedule, because I do think it's some more weather coming and I don't want nobody caught up after yesterday and the day before. When we talk about mental health, it's the foundation of the emotions, thinking, communications, learning, resilience, and self-esteem. Mental health is also the key to a relationship, personal and emotional well-being, and contributed to a community or society. That's probably the only definition I'm gonna read to you. To me, or when you read this here, what does that, in your own terms, what did it say to you? That's where you all participate. We got to talk back. Crazy? Anybody? Self-awareness? Anybody else? How I group this and put it in perspective, if you're not right here, nothing else goes right. So we got to always make sure, and it's just not for your clients, it's for us too. We got to make sure we stay healthy here, because if your mind is not functioning, you're not ready to do anything. You're sure not going to show up for a court day. You're not going to a bail bonds. You're not answer that call. You're not going to do anything but whatever your mindset that you're in at that time. 1 in 5 in the United States experience a mental health condition. So I'll be one of those 5 in this room. If we was to go around here, 1 in 5 of us at some point in this year, something is going to go on with us to put us in a mental health state. If it hadn't happened to you, as my grandmother say, live a little longer. Sometimes we don't want to admit it. Even in our positions, one of the things I will say in law enforcement, you know, we are a whole different breed. You all the same way. You're just not going to tell people something wrong. You're not going to say I'm not okay. I can't count on my hand how many cohorts I've had to actually call me, and I don't say anything one way or the other. You know, I'm one of them, I don't know how they see me sometimes. The guys, they just say anything to me sometimes, but it's not out of disrespect. But some of the things they ask me, I know it's because it's them and they need some help. So I feel it as a privilege that they comfortable enough to come to me and say, hey, I may need to, you know, do you know anybody that can do some counseling for this, that, or whatever? And then probably a month or 2 later, they might come back and say, hey, it was me. Okay. And I just keep going. So that's why I say, you know, 1 in 5 of us going to suffer. 1 in 20 with a serious mental health condition each year. And that sometimes causes people to be hospitalized, where you got to go in for some serious treatment. And then we look at our juveniles, 1 in 6. I really think that number has changed, have a mental health condition. That was post-COVID. This is after. It went from 1 in 5 to 1 in 4. But we all know we went through a whole lot of different things during that time, and we don't know what was going on. So it put us into a whole different lot of stages. I always go back to down at the bottom, if you all see, I'm a person of color. Lack of access, shame, don't want to talk about it, is not going to admit it to you. They're not going to tell you. You know, you all may go write a bond on somebody and you ask them, we're going to talk about some of that questions that you may want to ask so you can find out what is behind the door, who is behind the door, and what is the history behind the door so that you can stay safe. These are just some mental health challenges that we have. You know, everybody, it's something wrong with everybody. That's my assumption of that. All of us got a little something wrong with us, whether we admit it or not. I know it's something wrong with me. My dad always told me I was special. I didn't realize I thought he was talking about special to his heart. But, but you know, sometimes we just cut a little different. He always say, you know, you the baby, but you just different. And I was like, okay, I don't know. But as I got older and started studying this, I said, maybe he thought something else was going on with me. But we all are different. Something wrong with everybody. Nobody is perfect. These are some common disorders: depression, anxiety, ADHD, bipolar, post-traumatic stress disorder. We can have more than these and a lot of these at the same time, but the PTSD, a lot of times people associate that with what? It is, that's true, the military, but PTSD is your environment. It's the environment that you've been in. We was talking, I was at a conference and some children, and there was a story on television in Chicago, and they was asking them, how many of you all, elementary kids, have seen bodies going to school? That was their route every day. They never knew. Sometimes they see 1, 2, 3. So you imagine that's the environment. That's traumatic to those kids. So it's the environment that people are in. Somebody just posted something today about, I thought the police chief was supposed to stop murders. And I almost said somebody ain't had no business on Facebook, but I try to do right because my pastor on there with me and I don't want him to dip me back in the water. But I had to catch myself. That's not a law enforcement or a bail agent issue. We have parenting issues. And that was really my twist that I placed on there. You know, you can't police the inside of somebody's houses. So that's where you run into the issue at. So the PTSD, I want to make sure we looked at that. You know, it's the product. You're a product of your environment, pretty much. Schizophrenia, eating disorder, And the substance use disorder, I'm quite sure you all probably deal with all that. The drugs that people are playing around with now, pretty much gonna put them in this position. You know, that schizo, not knowing where they at. Some of the most horrific things I have seen just driving down the street, and I'm looking at somebody trying to fight to get out of their body. And I'm like, what do you do? I've actually started walking around pretty much carrying my Narcan with me and pray I don't ever have to go out, just literally get out the car and use it. But it has come close to that several times but then I got to put myself in a situation so I don't get hurt. So, you know, that, and I'm in my personal vehicle, let me just say that, not the po-po truck, so they don't know who it is, but you know, we had a case in New Orleans where the officer did administer it, and when the guy came to and realized it was the police, he jumped in the car and almost ran over her. She had to actually fire her weapon to keep him from killing her. So it happens. Warning signs. This is on NAMI.com, the warning signs. What are some signs that people show you that it may be something mentally wrong with them? These are some of them. One of the things we always said, people start giving away all of their stuff, acting erratic, you know, talking to themselves. You don't know what they're saying. They don't know what you're saying. These are just some of the things: excessive alcohol, weight gain, loss of weight, sudden fear, you know, that paranoia. These are just some things. If you're sitting there writing up a bond and some of these things are going on, there are some questions I would say start asking your client. But these are actually, I made sure I put the resource at the bottom. If you go to NAMI.com, they have a lot of resources that you can actually print and keep in your office for persons. When completing an application, I think this might be the part y'all want to see. When completing an application, this is just some things I'm suggesting. We can't make you, and then I know you have to also make sure that it's legally you're within the scope of what you can and cannot do. But I think personally, I would want to know this if I was you all in this situation. When completing an application for a client, it is important to gather specific information regarding mental health to better serve their needs. Why do you all think that's important? I can't hear you. Their level of understanding, medication. Anybody else? What about for your safety? What about if you write the bond and come to my house? What do you know behind that door as the agent if you got to come? What is that's how this came about. What is behind the door? I didn't show up. What's your name, sir? Mr. Charles wrote the bond. Christiane ain't showed up in court. The insurance company called him. You coming to my house to find out where I'm at. What's behind that door? You have no clue. So that's why I say we have to ask some questions, a little inquisitive. You know, is there anybody else in the house that may have a mental health condition? Who in the house with you? So, you know, we can't control the neighbors, but you do need to know what's behind the door if all possible. And are you going to get all the right answers? No. We all know that. Especially I know from being a PO. I never forget, I went to one house, do a home visit. We ended up having 3 people, sisters and brothers. All of them was on probation. And after when we, at one address. But nobody told us that everybody stayed at the same house. So it may happen. Okay, let me see if my audio gonna work. I'm gonna introduce you all to Ada. And let's see if Ada will play today.
You better get out of there because it's my house. and I take care of this. You're not going to sell it on me and take the money and get me out of here, and I can take care of myself. You ask any one of my neighbors around here, they'll tell you I am a good neighbor. My porch looks beautiful. You don't want to help me with anything. You just want to come in here and take it from me. Well, you're not going to do it. And I work a lot on this house, and my neighbors will tell you that I take good care of it, and you just want me out so you can have it. Well, that's not going to happen. You ask the neighbor, look at all this work I do. You never help me work. I'm not gonna leave. You can't sell this house from underneath me. I'll tell you that much. I take good care of this house.
Let's go.
And I'm not leaving, and you can't sell it. You ask any of my neighbors. I take good care of my home,
Good morning,
my property.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. What do you want?
My name is Officer Steve Grant. This is Sergeant Torres here. The reason we're here is that your neighbors have phoned in a complaint that there's been a lot of disturbance.
My neighbors don't complain. I'm a good neighbor. I clean my porch and it's painted and my flowers are beautiful. You ask any of my neighbors and I'm a good neighbor. They didn't complain about me.
Okay. Ma'am, is there some sort of disturbance that's going on here today that we need to know about?
There's no disturbance here, okay? My brother's bothering me. I'm staying out here, that's all. I'm cleaning my porch so I don't get any help at all.
What I need for you to do, ma'am, what is your name?
Ada.
Ada? I need you to relax a little bit, okay? Ma'am, excuse me? Your brother's in the house right now?
He's in the house and I'm not going in there.
Your brother lives here with you, ma'am?
No, he doesn't live here. I live here.
Okay. You live here by yourself?
Yes, and I take care of this house all by myself.
Okay. What I need you to do, ma'am...
My neighbors will tell you that I take good care.
Ada, I need you to relax for me, okay? Why don't you take a deep breath? I need you to slow down.
I have to keep this house clean.
Okay, I understand. I need you to slow down. I can't understand what you're saying. I need you to slow down, okay? I want you to talk to me, all right?
Okay, go ahead. What do you want?
Let me see if I understand exactly what you're telling me here. Your brother's inside. He wants to sell the house, and he doesn't live here.
He wants to sell the house.
Ada, listen to me. Listen and take some money, okay? What we need to talk to your brother.
You can. I don't care. You can talk to him. I'm not going in there. You can talk to him,
right.
But he'll just tell you lies anyway. He'll tell you that I can't take care of this self, and I can take care of myself.
Okay.
Ada, what's your brother's name?
You need to talk to the neighbors first. His name is Mark.
Ada, could I have the broom, please?
What do we need my broom for? I have to clean it. If
I
don't
understand.
clean, no one's gonna clean.
Why?
Well, who's gonna do my work if I give you the broom?
You can probably sweep later, okay?
My
Well, we
place.
need to go inside the house.
Hi,
Can I have the
Hi,
broom?
how are you?
Ada, come on inside now.
No,
Ada?
I'm not
Look what this
going.
has come to. I've called the police now.
Why don't we
Come
go
inside.
inside?
Look what it's done. I had to call the police to
Mark,
get you
why don't we
inside
go
now.
inside?
I can't deal with her anymore. Look at this. All the time out there on the porch sweeping.
Mark, is there anyone else in the house?
No, it's just the two of us. I can't deal with her anymore.
Do you have any weapons in the house?
No, nothing like that.
Any pets you should be aware of?
No, not anymore. They're all gone.
What happened with your sister today?
The same thing happens every day. She ends up out on the porch, ranting and raving, sweeping the porch. I get calls 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning at my house.
Ada, I need you to relax a little bit, okay?
I don't want. I'm scared. I don't want to be near him though.
We're here to protect you. We'll protect you, okay? We will protect you, okay? All right? What we need to do, we need to take this out of the eye of your neighbors, okay? We need to go
You
inside.
need to talk to them so they can tell you what type of person I am and
I understand.
the hard work I do around here.
Ada, I'll talk to your neighbors after we get done here, but we need to take this out of the eyes of your neighbors.
I don't want. I'm scared. I don't want to be near them though.
We're here to protect you. We'll protect you, okay?
Shag her butt inside the house, supposed to be. I was looking for her.
I don't know.
What do you think?
Okay, but
like to think we
I'm
can
not
sort
going to go
this out.
near them though.
You don't have to go near them. Go in and we have a seat and we'll talk this thing through. How's that?
Looking all over the house for it. I can't find her.
I'll try.
Okay. Why don't we go inside?
I can't deal with her anymore. It's endless. It's never ending.
Okay.
I don't know what to do about it.
He just
I
wants
don't
to
know
take over my life.
What do you think I should do with her?
Okay.
I just
Ada, why don't you have a seat
no
right
idea
here?
what to do with
Ada, I
her.
want you to have a seat right here, okay?
No, this was
have
our
a seat
mother's
right
house.
here, okay?
What happened is Mom died about 1.5 years ago. And then after that, she's been staying here.
Ada,
What?
what happened here today?
Nothing happened here today. I'm cleaning. He comes over. He's talking about selling the house, taking money. I don't know what he wants to do, but I know he wants me out, and I'm not going. Okay?
How long you been living here, Ada?
I've been living here for 2 years, and do you want to sit down, or do you want a cup of coffee, or something?
No, I'm all set. Thanks a lot.
You know, I'm just tired of him coming over here and telling me I can't take care of myself. Shh. Mom, I know.
Ada, who are you talking to? You keep making hand
No,
gestures. You keep
I'm not
waving
talking,
your
I'm not
hand.
talking to anybody. You don't have to worry about that, okay? I just don't think it's necessary that he calls you because he wants me out. It's my house. I don't want you here, and I don't even want him here. You know, it's just, look at this house is beautiful. I take care of it. I can take care of it. I take care of the outside. I don't know what, I do know what, because he doesn't want me here anymore, and I'm just tired of it.
Okay.
Mom, I know.
Ada?
No, I just want.
Does she see a doctor?
Yes, she does. She's been seeing Dr. Parker. He's over at St. Mary's, I think. She's supposed to be going over there.
Okay. Do you know if she's taking any medication?
Yeah, she's supposed to be taking medications. He gave her the medication, but I don't know what happened to her.
It's none of your business about my medication,
Ada?
okay?
Ada? Are you seeing a physician now?
Yes, I do see a doctor. Everybody sees a doctor. What's so weird about that?
Yeah, I understand.
You know?
I understand. Are you taking any medication, Ada?
I take medications, I take vitamins, what's the big deal? Why? Why are you asking me all these questions? I don't think it's necessary, only because he calls you.
We're concerned, Ada. Hey, what type of medication do you take?
I don't even know what it is.
You don't know what it is?
No, I don't know what it is. I take it, I remember to take it, and I take vitamins, so.
So you've been taking your medicine regularly?
I try to take it regularly. I really, really do. Sometimes I forget, but that's no big deal. And I don't even know why you're
Ada?
asking me these.
Ada, can I see your prescription bottle, please?
Mom, I know.
Ada?
Here's the bottle. Stop bothering me about that.
Look, she's hiding it from me now.
Okay.
This is constant with her.
Okay, well, just talk to me right now.
I put this video in here. It's a little longer. They call for Ada to get some help. But so, if Ada was to go to jail, let me say that. If Ada was to go to jail, how many in this room will have access to that information that the police has just gathered? Nobody. You all would know that Ada have a history of mental health. You wouldn't have an idea that Ada's taking medication. Ada done attempted suicide. Ada done a lot of stuff. Paranoid, hearing voices. That's why I said when you ask the questions, when you're dealing with your clients, is there a history of mental health conditions? Is anybody in the house suffering from mental health condition? Because it may not be Ada. It may be Ada's sister, brother, or child. And if you have to go to that house, it's only fair that you ask those questions and I'm not saying, however you do it on your applications or just in a verbal conversation, there are some things that I would suggest start asking, about the person, about what is it? Is it anything? What's behind the door? That's why I keep saying that. What's behind the door? Who's behind the door? Who's living in the house? Is there a history of mental health condition? And then you got to think about the older adult that may be in the house suffering. There's a lot of things that, you would need to find out. I think that it's only fair with the times, what we're dealing with, who is there and what kind of history it is. Is a person paranoid, schizophrenia, or have had an issue with a law enforcement figure, which you all are, then you don't know how they're going to react when you go, or the agent go, to talk to that individual. So, just pulling up to the house may set them off. I've seen it happen before, so these are just some of the things that I would suggest. My thing went over. We kind of talked about that. Is somebody actively on medication? These are just some suggestions that we are making, to start asking these questions, because we do know medication will put people in a psychotic state also. Community resources. Does your local criminal justice system have a mental health court? Some of us in Mississippi do have mental health courts. Utilize them. Ask for help. If you know that judge or the DA in that area, and if you have a mental health court, Start asking, because nobody better is a better advocate than you, because you're dealing directly with that client. You'll be able to tell the courts or the DA or even the defense attorney what is going on with this individual, what they are saying, what they are doing, what they have said to you. So sometimes you can't be that person advocate. Do you have an established relationship with your local behavioral health center? Everybody in this room is connected in some region to a community mental health center. Find out who they are. Each community mental health center have what they call mobile crisis. That's a team that respond out. If somebody is in your office and in a mental health crisis, you can call that local community mental health center. I'm going to brag on us for a minute. In Hinds County, they got one 24 hours, 7 days a week. So my Hinds County people, the number is 601-955-6381. Hinds County is one of the only counties that have somebody with a cell phone. Those agents, 24 hours, 7 days a week, can respond to somebody in a mental health crisis if they happen to be in your office, if you go home, to their homes or whatever it is, they can respond out to them. And usually if it's within Hinds County, in the city limits, within an hour, really less than that, about 30 minutes to them get to you, about 45 to an hour if you're out in the county area. But find out who is your local community mental health center. CIT, that's a crisis intervention trained officer. That is a police officer certified that has gone through a 40-hour mental health training through the local community mental health center. If you have to get involved, you can call. If you know who CIT officer, take them with you. That's a certified officer. If you got to call 911 for something, tell them to send a CIT officer out there. You can ask for them. It's not a question if they shall have one according to the state of Mississippi. Every agency has to have a CIT officer. These are some resources, 988, and I did print some of these off. I'll leave them on the back table for you all. 988 is a statewide crisis line. If you're in a mental health crisis, you can pick that phone up and call 988, chat, text, whichever one you want. 24 hours. These are licensed therapists in the state of Mississippi. There is 2 call centers, north and south. That's somebody live in the state of Mississippi that answered that phone. In your offices, you can go to 988lifeline.org. There are printables that you can actually print out this information. The QR code there, usually if you scan that, it'll send you directly to the center. So these are just some things that you can actually help in your office. They included everybody. They made sure, young, old, and in between, that, there is hope. It's okay not to be okay. If you dial 988 and you're a veteran, all you got to do is push 1. There's a division that's set up especially for veterans. Just press 1, and it only deals with veterans. So, we never know who we may have. This is just a resource, the whole thing together. One of them that individually I kind of put all together. We talked about the 988. We over here with the scan code, the veteran, and then at the bottom is just my information where but it's okay not to be okay. And let me go back because I forgot. Another thing I want to add before we get to the questions and answers, self-care among you all. You got to take care of you. There's a lot that you deal with. I kind of put you out, a lot of times people look over the bail agent, the probation officer. Most police don't look at you as being a central part of the criminal justice system. Yes, you are. Because a lot of times your client will come to you because they trust you before they go to the police. So, and I think that's something that you all need to value, but you got to make sure you keep you right. When it's time, have that time where you just unplug and take care of you and do something for you. So that's the important thing that I would say, to make sure you take care of you. And do anybody have any questions, concerns? Yes, ma'am. You want to always make sure the attorney coming right behind me. See there he is, Matt. He gonna answer that question. Matt, come on, we can tell. They want to know if it's legal for them to ask questions when their clients are in there about mental health. My suggestion was to find out what's behind the door. It's not anything that you're gonna use publicly. It's just really for your own safety. You need to know what it is. Now, I would say if you was gonna put it out there, it's HIPAA still is HIPAA. So you're not gonna get sued for finding out. Christiane, do you have a history of mental illness? Because if I'm sitting in there like Ada having 3 conversations and you talking to me, you know something is going on with me. So you only asking what you see in front of you. You follow what I'm saying? I think y'all smart enough to get that. So, what you say? Anybody else? Any questions? I'm trying to get us back on schedule. If not, I do appreciate you all again. Thank you.